Alright, here we go. I'm Stephen Ang, and I do comedy. I also try to do films, and I act. So that's me, yeah, that's me. And it's hard. Hollywood is hard. It really is. I But you have to want it. You have to live your life to it. And as far as me, it makes you do crazy things. It really does. Like, for instance, I talk to the mirror a lot. Talk to myself. If I don't have an audience, I just talk to myself. And usually I do talk to myself, and half the day I'm practicing sketches and faces and voices in the mirror, and it kind of screws up my social life. If I had a social life, I try talking to my mother a lot, and my mother doesn't want to hear, she's not impressed with anything I ever do. I do so much all day, it's not any impressive stuff, but I'm always putting on a dress or makeup or something. I'm starting to sound like a transsexual, and I try always, doing these collaborative artistic things, and, my mom just is like, the hell with you, you stupid moron. And my grandmother, she's senile. She's a loving woman, but very senile. And she just laughs at everything I do. One time I said, I like a toothpick. And she was like, oh, they're so funny. And I'm like, this is the person that's telling me I'm funny, is a woman that laughs at a toothpick joke. It's not even a joke. I'm not funny. I'm going to be like one of those American Idol idiots that, like, I could sing, oh, I'm sorry, home. And then Simon, like, you're awful. You're very awful. I've never seen you like the devil. Just the crap. That was a terrible Simon impression, but it's, and one thing you have to really push through. You get a lot of people in the industry that are producers, that what they do is they act like they're somebody. They don't know anybody. They just are just random, a homeless person, dress up in a suit. Hey, if you come with me, I'm gonna make you a star. Oh, who do you know? Jack Daniels. Not the guy from Jim Carrey, Dumb and Dumber. No. Yeah, you see, one time I actually got asked to do, we were supposed to have an interview, me and a producer, and we were going to talk about my comedy. And then it turned out we were eating nachos and having a beer, and all of a sudden it was if I want to do gay porn. I know I have that look, I have the hair that's like, oh, I'm disco, and my face is kind of, I've lived with women my whole life, and it comes off very horribly, because I live with women, and most women think I'm gay, because they look at me and I'm like, oh, he's a very sweet and sensitive guy, and I'm like, yes, I am, and I know that's rare, and you're not used to that, because, a lot of guys are jerks, I think. Instead, I'm either a serial killer like Ted Bundy, or I'm just a homosexual. And yes, I'll do your nails. Yes, I'll take you to the shopping mall and we can go shopping. I like to see shopping, but I'd also like to see you in your underwear and your panties while I'm, looking at you. That's what I'm trying to say. It's very hard. And I guess another thing is about being gay is that I do hang out with my mother a lot. I hang out with my mother constantly. We go to dance clubs together, and I basically protect her from all the men. But the men come up to me and are very flirtatious, and if I kind of look like my mom. I have short hair, but if I have long hair, I kind of look like my mother. So then they're like, well, hey, if I'm not gonna go with her, I'm gonna go with you. And my mom brings me as protection, so in case the big dudes come along, they're like, they see me, and I'm like, you want to mess with her? Well, you gotta go through me first. And some guys are like, ooh, this guy's like pedophile candy. He's 22, but he looks like he's 10. I can rape him. And it's horrible, because the men at the bars, they don't give a shit. They just start dancing with anybody, and then they'll grab me, because they don't care, men, women, children, it doesn't matter. But women usually think I'm gay. It's very horrible. Because women, I think, they usually like men kind of like cavemen. That just used to grab the clubs and hit the woman over the head and then just drag their ass in. That's what women like. Women like that. Women like the abusive men. And then, as far as being 22, I don't look 22. I know, I don't. I don't look 22. Okay, I'm 15 or something. I'll be playing at Chuck E. Cheese. And, but the problem with that is, with women, they don't understand is, when I'm 40, I may look like I'm in my early 20s. And then you'll be with this saggy piece of crap that beats on you and has probably 1,000 pounds of heroin in his pocket, and also owes you child support and backs taxes and took away your house, and now you're horrible, your boobs are sagging, your vagina is sagging, and now you're looking at me and you're like, oh, hey, you're like 40 now, I don't think you're gay, I want to date you. And I'm like, no, because now I have this bitch over here who's 18, and she doesn't know what to give her, so, she looked at me, And then I just sound like a jerk, and I'm not trying to be a jerk, but this is my profession, and it's my comedy. I'm a professional asshole is what I'm trying to tell you, okay? And it's a very hard business, and it's, and social life has to come into it. Your social life. That's the funniest stuff, is the real life. For instance, since I don't know if I'm gay or not, I'm not sure yet. Women haven't let me decide. I'd like to say I'm a good man because I don't have sex with women, but because women don't have sex with me, so that's why. So, but I'm leaving this as a video of how I began. I don't know how the hell I began. I just do things, I just do stuff, and you just gotta keep doing it and trying. And like I was getting to, for example, there was a young man I was talking to, and there was a group of people around us, and we were talking, and all of a sudden they all left, and he was there with me. He was obviously gay, he had makeup on, and I was trying to weasel my way out of there and kind of pretend I was on the phone, but he wasn't having it. And he started talking about drugs, and I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna ask me out on a date. I know it. He's gonna ask me out on a fucking date. And he wasn't a bad looking guy either. It really wasn't. That's what scares me, because I'm like, oh god, he's kind of good looking, but I wouldn't date him. But I'm not gonna lie. If he's a good looking guy, he's a good looking guy. But that's all I'm saying. But then he's like, you want to go out? And I'm like, I'm like trying to figure out. I'm trying to be polite, and I don't want to say anything rude. So then my only thing is, yes. So now he's setting up the day, and setting up the place, and God knows what else. And then I'm thinking, instead of me thinking I should get out of this, I'm thinking, well, what if he doesn't call me? And then he kind of just doesn't even show up, and then I'll look like a guy who's straight but acts like he's gay and gets asked by out my men, and he says yes for some fucking reason, and probably because his father left him when he was 2 and something like that. And then all of a sudden I'm worrying now. The big major problem is, what if he doesn't show up? What if he doesn't show up? What am I planning to do? Where is this going? Am I just gonna adopt a bunch of babies with him, like a bunch, Angelina Jolie, and just not be gay and say, hello kids, I've got a queer, and the problem is I do gay really good, so people can't tell, Oh my goodness, I'm telling you. I saw Leonardo DiCaprio the other day in Shutter Island. He could detect me any day. I'm just fan. It's crazy. Have you seen Twilight? Edward? I like that stare he does. It's like, I want you, but I'm gonna hold back until part 5. See, this is my day-to-day life. You see, nobody's gonna be watching this video, and I'm basically looking like an idiot, and you probably will compliment how gay my hair looks, and maybe crooked teeth and stuff like that. But you know what? I have problems, okay? When you're in Hollywood, they do your hair, and they do your teeth, and they do your makeup, and then you look real hot, and everybody's like, oh, he's real sexy. I'm like, motherfucker, I've seen this motherfucker in real life. I've been in Comedy Central. I've been in fucking all the HBO. I've seen these fucking people. They're not that fucking attractive. They look like me before they get the makeup on. It's scary. It's scary stuff. And I've been talking for 8 minutes and 20. This is actually usually the gigs I do are like 10 minutes, and by the end I'm having a fucking stroke because I have like 4 Red Bulls a day, and I eat a bunch of candy and sugar, and then I kind of have a nervous breakdown, and my girlfriend is out right now. She's out with friends. I'm a little worried. I'll tell you that much. I'm very worried. I'm pretty sure she's being honest because she's a sweet little thing. But but she's attractive, and men like that, I think. And she hasn't called me. She used to calling me, and I kind of get an ego trip out of that. It's kind of mean. I'm like, I do have one. I do have a girlfriend, and she used to call me all the time, and I'd feel like a big shot and be like, I'm the man. And now she doesn't call, and now I'm kind of like the woman. I'm like, why doesn't she call? Why doesn't she put me first? And I'm thinking, in a couple hours it's going to be our anniversary, and I'm the one going, why hasn't she said she loves me? Why hasn't she said... And then I start telling women about my issues. Oh my lord. That's when things really get bad. So I'm into you. Yeah, my girlfriend's a big bitch. She doesn't call me when she's supposed to. She doesn't do anything I like to do. She says... So I just get myself into a horrible, horrible situation. I really do. And I hang out with my best friend, and he's black. That's not a problem. But I hang out with him so much, I think I might be gay, because I'm hanging out with this guy all the time. He's like my best friend, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so lonely. Thank you. I'm Stephen Ang. Oh, I was supposed to push stop. Fuck.